There you go. I had to try about 5 times just to get it on here. That Wi-Fi is messing up. You doing all right? I don't know. Hey, Lynn. How you doing, love? I don't know. Hey, Alicia. Hanging in there, love. About it. Mm. Hey, Hollow Girl. Okay. Three in the back. Come on up and join the chat here. Or at least hit the like button. Y'all been doing all right today?
Inside one modest home, something had already gone wrong. 2 children were missing, not for a moment, not for a few minutes, but gone without explanation. And those who should have noticed first, the ones they trusted most, stood frozen, unable or unwilling to speak the truth. Neighbors would later say the house seemed still, almost untouched, as though it were holding its breath. Doors closed, rooms empty, toys abandoned. From the road, it was picturesque, almost peaceful. And hallways. No one outside could sense it. Airtight with unspoken words through the morning air. Volunteers lined roads and fields. The weighed on Malaya, the mother. The subtle coercion, logically, the household had shifted. This is criminal pattern. The mission here is justice. Her children silence. Silence that feels less like sorrow and more like a strategy. Daniel Martel talked too much. Malaya barely said a thing. One looked frantic. The other looked rehearsed.
This one here
So
says,
we have to ask, is this the silent...
Hey, Tina. Says this one here, teachers... let's see, the deeper truth, all teachers reveal something.
Of an innocent mother trying to protect a case, or the silence of someone being carefully appreciation straight to you. Let's keep building this community that fights for justice together. In the disappearance of Lily and Jack Sullivan, no response has been louder than Malaya's silence. While search teams combed the woods, while neighbors held vigils and reporters Malaya retained legal counsel, quietly, no announcement, days, maybe even weeks before speaking formally with an attorney. And during that gap, he spoke freely to family, to Facebook groups, to strangers. Online, he can look like self incrimination in a courtroom. So they lock everything down. No press, no online posts, no family interviews, total media blackout. And that may be exactly what happened with Malaya. If she is innocent, her lawyer might simply be prevented. That it feels orchestrated, controlled by legal guidance, her before a formal trial ever begins. Destroy her. Because when you look at the pattern, it's not hard to see the blueprint. Child disappears. Mother. That is not how trauma usually behaved. One question they never thought they'd ask about a missing children's mother.
So easily. Stay with me, because the truth doesn't disappear just because the children do. Why were Lily and Jack found so far from home? How did no one find them soon? Boards, candlelight vigils, a town frozen in fear, praying for a miracle. Then, in late June, a call comes in. A hiker says he's found something deep in the woods. Two small bodies, side by side.
Now, listen to this again. Listen very, very carefully of how it's being said, not just what's being said, but listen how it's being said.
Boards, candlelight vigils, a town frozen in fear, praying for a miracle. Then, in late June, a call comes in. A hiker says he's found something deep in the.
Did you hear the month? Did you hear the month? Yay, nay. Did y'all hear the month? Okay. Y'all know what this month is. So now you know why there ain't been no uh, interviews, no nothing. They're trying to keep us in the dark with the timelines off, with what they already had. And they basically said it the other day. There's some things that we'll tell y'all, and there's some things that we ain't gonna tell y'all because it, mess up the case. So here it is.
News reports, candlelight vigils, a town frozen in fear, praying for a miracle. Then, in late June, a call comes in. A hiker says he's found something deep in the woods. Two small bodies, side by side.
Now, either it's like I said before that after they placed the bodies in one certain spot, because they was talking about around some old mossy rock and yeah, late June. And this is already August, half August already. Okay, so just put this in perspective. Okay, we wasn't told about that right there by listening in this 2.5 months ago. Hey MZ, hey Joni, we heard everything that you can possibly hear, except for one thing, and that was the timeline. That timeline is the only thing that, oh, it's wanting me to update device. I'll do it tonight, I guess. Um, that's the only one thing that the kids wouldn't be able to tell you, no matter how hard they tried. They could not, they're too young. They wouldn't know what month it was. There's no way for them to even remember if they were told what month it was. So they're using these children still as a shield yet. Now I don't know if RCMP's got something up in mind or what, but we didn't hear that they were one body. And I've done said they, just out of spite, they could have buried Lily somewhere else just to keep them apart in death. But that dog won't hunt neither because we've done hurt them both. These hikers would have had to be traumatized seeing this mess. You know, even if, and if is a big word, if they put Jack in a sleeping bag or whatnot, they, like I said, a pack of wolves, hey, it wouldn't take them 30 seconds to go through that right there. Uh, and just in a shallow grave, nah. And Lily is the one that confessed that. Said that no, that they were no longer in the basement, that they were outside, and that they were free. So again, I'm taking the baby's words for it. Now, there's things that the babies may be confused on. There's some things that they can answer. There's some things that they cannot. And dates would be one of them. Hmm. So I do know, hey Kathy, I do know that autopsies and dealing with decay and post mortem and all, it takes time. You know, it's not like take them down to clinic and a few minutes get your answer. It's not like that. They said that these children were dismembered, and it seems like everybody that questions us says, "Where does it say that?" Well, hell, it's done been told. I don't know which one it was. Just listen. Well, to get my point across, plain as I can get it, is I don't know if they dismembered these children. I don't know if uh, animals is the ones that did this, you know, as far as dismemberment. But the reason I'm up so late now is because I took a nap earlier. I shouldn't have, but I did. But anyway, I I woke up with a thought. Mm, yeah, I don't I don't remember dreaming it, but I remember that's what I woke up with my mind on. And It was so stupid of a comment from Malaya saying that she sold the children. Well, that dog won't hunt neither. And it's not, hey, Connie, and it's not a coincidence that both bodies are there side by side.
And stepped outside to play, and the faces were everywhere. Billboards, news reports, candlelight vigils, a town frozen in fear, praying for a miracle. Then, in late June, a call comes in. A hiker says he's found something deep in the woods. Two small bodies, side by side. And just like that, the search ends. But the mystery, that's only beginning. Why were Lily and Jack found so far from home? How did no one find them sooner in an area already searched? And who?
Right there. Mm. I tell you why they wasn't found at an earlier time and could have been found properly. I mean, yeah, deceased, but still with some respect to it. I'm telling you that this Logan and this Donuts, Logan helped uh, Daniel to hide the bodies, but Donuts knowed where they were, and I believe he wanted Daniel out the way, so he moved the bodies. So within a good amount of time, they ain't found, then he can claim he knows where they're at. There it is. He's the winner. You know what I mean? Kind of deal. And I said this before too. He's jealous of Daniel because Daniel's in there and everything and stuff was going on. Even though they were splitting up, whatnot, him and her used to date, whatnot. Yeah, it's each one of them turning on each other, and I guarantee you, when Numbnuts took and moved them children, Daniel went back to make sure that they're still there. And when he got there, I guarantee you there was a empty hole, and he got scared, and he got pissed because he know that Daniel, Nuts has done said too daggone much. Hey, Pamela. No, they wouldn't. They would no love for him.
Who exactly is this man who just June died? Boards, candlelight vigils, a town frozen in fear, praying for a miracle. Then, in late June, a call comes in.
Late June. And for everybody that wants to know, it's August 18th, 2025 at 11:59 at night. So you won't come on here and ask me, where do I see this information? Where do I hear it? Well, it's from Agent True Crime or something like that. Now it is midnight here. And that's here in Alabama. This is Central Time, Eastern Time. Yeah, Central Time. Eastern Time. Yeah, Eastern Time. No, Central. Yeah. Well, see what's going on was what what flipped it was with the children being moved again. That's what put everybody really in hot water, and that was their problem, and everything went to crap. But Malaya knew that it's already out there. That's why she just walked to the car barefooted and sat down ready to go. But she can play that off all she wants to. As soon as she gets to where she won't be on suicide watch. She'll end up taking her life. He made his money making meth. That's it. That's it. That's it right there.
Hiker says he's found something deep in the woods.
Now this was
Two
late
small
June.
bodies, side.
Late June. And look at the month. July, August. We're done halfway in the middle of the daggone month now, or more. Yeah, more. Today's the 19th of August. So you see, RCMP has been holding back a lot of stuff to the public. But the children give more than anyone. They have no reason to tell something that ain't correct. Look what up. Talking about Daniel. Yeah, he made his money making meth.
By side. And just like that, the searched candlelight vigil. June, a call comes in. A hiker says he's found something deep in the woods. Two small bodies, side by side. And just like that, the search ends. But the mystery, that's only beginning. Why were Lily and Jack found so far from home?
Why were Jack and Lily found so far from home? Yeah. But you notice, oh, bless you, love. I pray that goes away soon. Uh, yeah, that would have been blood money. Um, but what I'm trying to get across is what this person so far has said is the same things that the children have said. Now, if they say something out of line, I'll correct it right then. Uh, because this being late June, we're working on 2 months here that they've already been found and probably looking for other pieces. Um, no, they ain't gonna let her out or let Daniel neither one. Um, I just don't know if they got numb nuts yet. They do have Logan. Um, So, but they said, why did they find them so far away? But Lily and Jack said probably. Uh, no, I take it back. It was the woman that was speaking for them. Said about a mile to 2 miles and a half in. Oh, they will, because they're going to all be participating in this because they knew about it. Every one of them knew about it. And for Cody, no matter if he just took part right there on Easter Sunday, it was told by Lily that he was abusing them then, hitting them and whatnot. So he knows what's going on. So that's going to break his probation. So he's going to go back to jailhouse. Um, you know, yeah, they done told all this before people ever even figured anything out. That's why I've always said, if you want to find out something, ask the dead. They'll tell you quicker than anybody. Hey, Carol. Uh, but that being late June when they found them, well, that don't tell us but one thing. They just been sitting and trying to build up everything they can for the case, and that do it, sending them off to do the analysis. Uh, you know, being being in that bad of shape, you know, found that way is because of their nuts. I'm telling you, up there in Canada, and I've looked at it to see, and they have some big old Kodiak bears up there. And let me tell you something, they weigh. So, I, I think the lowest one I seen was about 600 pounds, and top max that was about 2,000 pounds. Stood about 10 feet tall on his hind leg. Tell me that a sleeping bag or a little bit of dirt gonna keep something like that away. So they also could be, like I said, still trying to get a little bit more evidence. At the same time, have certain people out trying to see if they can find more of it. You know, um, but that's just the way it is. But so far, the way that they're doing, crossfiring each other during the interrogations, that's what's got them. That's what's got them where they are now. And thank God they're doing it. Now, says she didn't want us anymore, didn't want to see us anymore. But now they're free. Mm.
How did no one find them sooner in an area already searched? And who exactly is this man who just happened to stumble upon them? This is not just a story of loss, it's a story of suspicion, of silence, and of secrets buried deeper than anyone ever expected. This is the case of Lily and Jack Sullivan. And within minutes of the 911 call, emergency services began arriving at the home on Gerlach Road. What started as a routine missing child call quickly escalated, because this wasn't just one child missing. It was two very young children who had vanished together in broad daylight. RCMP officers launched a full-scale search. Neighbors, friends, and volunteers joined the effort. Dogs were brought in, drones flew overhead, helicopters circled the dense woods surrounding the rural property. But there were no signs of Lily and Jack. No footprints, no drag marks, no broken branches or dropped belongings. And online, theories started pouring in. If the children hadn't wandered off, had they been taken? Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Some pointed fingers at strangers, drifters, even registered offenders in the region. But others turned their attention toward your home. Inside the house, louder than anything outside it. Still, authorities remained clear there was no official suspect, no arrests, no named persons of interest. And with each passing
Now remember, they're talking about late June.
day, the weight of unanswered questions grew heavier until 6 weeks later, everything changed. A call came in from a man deep in the woods claiming he had found what no one else could. It was the morning of June 27th, 2025, just over six
Hey,
weeks since Lily and Jack Sullivan vanished. A man called 911 from deep inside a wooded area near the Ogden Round Lake, about 14 kilometers from where the
what did I tell you? What did I tell you about the lake? Lily plainly said, lake. But kind on the bank. Yeah, they can throw that out. That wasn't ain't nothing to that.
children were last seen. His voice was shaky, his words short. He told the dispatcher he had found something: two small bodies near a clearing, side by side. He gave his name, though police have not released it to the public. And when officers arrived, they confirmed the worst. Two deceased children matching the description of Lily and Jack Sullivan. The
Again, this is Agent True Crime on the day of August 19th at 12:13 in the morning. If anybody wants to know where we're hearing this.
recovery site was remote, difficult to reach even on foot, and surrounded.
And did she not say in a remote area, in a rural area? She's heard that word so many times because they've been always living around the forest. And that's what a lot of people call it when they live around the forest. Not just thick in woods, a rural area. So she knowed that term. She knowed what that meant. Bless you, Deborah. Thank you.
By dense brush, boggy terrain, and wetlands. But what caught investigators off guard wasn't just the location, it was what was missing. There were no signs of a struggle, no blood, no clothing visibly torn, no indication that wild animals had been involved. And perhaps most baffling of all, the area had already been searched multiple times. So, how did the bodies appear now? We
Okay. All right. So, if there have been no animals bothered them yet, then what else is left for them to be dismembered if they're still going to claim that?
later, in a place already combed by trained professionals, was
You know, the first time they sent in searchers, knowing good and well they weren't going to find them. Second go around, all right, they found Lily's panties with blood in them. Um, Hers or Jack's sock. Um, her piece of her blanket uh, was out there. The other piece was in the garbage. Um, Something else somewhere, and it should have hit them in the face like a ton of bricks. That okay, we searched this area and they wasn't nothing like that here. The only people that could be doing this to lead us off track is the people that's responsible for this thing. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure out who's doing what. Mm.
Oversight, or something far more calculated. The bodies were transported to the Nova Scotia Medical Examiner's Office in. To this day, authorities have not released the examiner's office in. The bodies were transported to the Nova Scotia Medical Examiner's Office in. To this.
Wait a minute. There's a cut. There's a cut right here. Listen. He says they have been transported to the uh, what you call it uh, place. But listen for this little cut right here.
Was it oversight or something far more calculated? The bodies were transported to the Nova Scotia Medical Examiner's Office in. To this day, oversight
In.
Or
he's going to say in something. So listen one more time. You can hear the cut.
Something far more calculated. The bodies were transported to the Nova Scotia Medical Examiner's Office in. To this day, authorities have not released the identity.
So there's something they're not saying right there because it's been cut. Anybody that hears that uh, will know it because this here, okay, guys, there. We know we can talk to the children. We know that. We proved it 1,000 times. People's got pissed at us because they can't. They didn't know where it was coming from. They wouldn't know site on YouTube or anything like that was getting that information. But I cannot help just because somebody else can't figure out how to go about it. That's not my problem. And they shouldn't be coming over asking me where am I getting my information from. That's why tonight I'm giving a timestamp, a month, the month, the date, the whole thing. I don't care where you're at watching around this world. We hear what they say here on these. And so far on this one, it's been the same thing as what Jack and Lily has said, and the same thing that their two loved ones have said, not counting Rose. So yes, the truth will stand when the world's on fire, guys. These babies need justice. Okay. So it is what it is. We can't let other people, if you leave here and you go over and you start watching somebody else and they start twisting up everything and try to get everybody's mind twisted and keep things going. Now we know for a fact that everything that Jack and Lily has said is complete. And I'm the one that mentioned that it takes a mighty good while to do all this stuff. I mean, they've got to figure out cause of death. They got to, match everything. Only one thing that is not said yet that I heard before was, well, this time they said that they wouldn't know torn clothing or nothing like that. But but before they did. But this has got a cut in it, so whatever's in that cut, we will never know because you can hear where it cuts and then starts back. But it did say that they found uh, some of Jack and Lily's clothes kind of scattered around under some dirt and leaves and whatnot like that. Hmm. Yeah, hey Judy. Yeah, he just loud when he talked. Uh, but uh, but yeah, I mean, how many times does this have to be said? What else is RCMP waiting on? I mean, I know for Daniel and Malaya, Numbnuts, Logan, uh, Daniel's mom, Malaya's mom, Cody, um, you know, they gonna be in trouble just as well. I don't know if they're waiting till all of them's picked up. I don't know. That's that's exactly right. That's exactly right. But the ones that watch this later, from wherever you're at in the world, you go back and listen to what I have put down that these children and their two loved ones have said, and then you watch all these right here, and you tell me which one is telling the truth and which one ain't.
Identity of the man who called 911 on June 27th. All we know is he was hiking alone in an
Mm,
isolated, swampy area few locals ever visit. He claims he was looking for birds or mushrooms, depending on which account you hear. When asked
me
why
too.
he was so far off any marked trail, he said he
Now looking for mushrooms. When I was younger, I did that too. So now I can't say nothing about that part. But yeah, they even went as far as saying that a bear come in the trailer and got the kids. And that's why that blanket was up in the tree because a bear took them up in there. I don't think if a bear come in the house and grabbed your daughter, he gonna worry about no daggum blanket. Yeah. At least he was
just
honest.
liked to explore. It's a statement that raised eyebrows among investigators, and online, it ignited a storm. Why was he there? Why that day? Why that exact location?
I tell you why they won't tell us the name of the person because we already all know. We know who moved the bodies after Logan and Daniel did. So we all know. Okay, I mean,
More importantly, how did he find two small bodies in a place that had already been searched? The RCMP confirmed that the area had been combed by trained professionals early in the investigation. So either the bodies were missed or they were never there to begin with. Suddenly, the hiker's story, instead of bringing answers, only memorials were held in the town square. Tiny pink and blue balloons released into the sky. Candlelight visuals, photos taped to lampposts. A
mm,
growing wall of teddy bears and drawings in front of the Sullivan home. But behind the prayer,
they should have been giving these children all these toys and things like this unharmed and loved, and everything else, and gave them a good life. AMZ. Um, yeah, I mean, well, you got skeptics out there. Then you got people that are jealous because they can't do it. That's not my problem. It, I can't help it. I can't help it. And I've told them. I've even been honest about it. I've not told a story, not one time. We, me, you, whoever, we cannot control what's gonna come through that spirit box. There ain't no way. It don't work like that. That's why I'm saying the more we share these shows, the further out it's going to get. Even get some skeptics in here to let them be able to hear from a loved one as well. Because at some time, the ones that have turned a deaf ear to somebody like me, they're going to need and want to hear from a loved one. And instead of sitting in the back and being goofy, you know, come on in, become a JSV fan. Because here, yeah, we cut up, we carry on, we are all goofy. But when it's time to get serious, we get serious. There's time to play, and then there's time to be serious. Yeah, they don't deserve nothing like that. Yeah, I can't stand it.
There was tension. The parents, Malaya and Daniel, appeared only briefly in public. A lawyer spoke on their behalf. Rumors swirled. People began filling in the gaps with their own suspicions.
I didn't. I filled in the gaps, letting the children fill them in. I didn't even fill them in. I let the children fill them in. So, once again, anybody wants to make that remark, they can kiss my ass. If you cannot believe a child, if you can't take the word of a humble, innocent child, there's no help for you. Mm, that's right. That's right. And people just still just cannot believe how we get this. And I've explained it 1,000 times. Matter of fact, matter of fact, the video was still up. It was probably still under JD's Paranormal. I don't know, but up there at our old church up here, where everybody on my mom's side's buried, there was a picnic table there at that old church, and I used to sit there and do some of my sessions till people started realizing who I was and coming up and messing up my videos. So I had to change places. It was, I think it was on a Sunday one day. I went over there, mm, and I explained everything. I didn't know that I was born this way. I didn't find out that I was 7 years old. But I explained from that day, from then on, all in one video. So it's up, it's out there. All people got to do every once in a while is scroll down and check out some of my videos. Because they are still some videos up under JD's Paranormal. So they can't tell me that I ain't already told how I do this. Yeah.
Online, the case went viral. True crime forums, TikTok sleuths, Facebook groups, all dissecting timelines, comparing aerial maps, analyzing every public statement. But no matter how many theories were shared, one thing remained unchanged. Lily and Jack were gone, and no one had been held accountable. A tiny community, once quiet and close knit, was now marked not just with grief, but with doubt. Doubt in each other, doubt in the system, doubt in the truth. Weeks have passed since the remains of Lily and Jack Sullivan were found.
You just heard that. You just heard. No, I've been proving a point right here. Fix and prove point, guys. Now, what I want you to do is look at something. Now, this one, oh, Agent Tim, or yeah, this one is. That other one is Agent True Crime. So I don't know who Agent Tim is on this one. All right. Now, what we just heard, okay, we know when that was. All right. Now, this says 2 days ago. Now, this is when it was uploaded. And I'm going to show you that it says 2 days ago. 105 days and still missing. Lily and Jack Sullivan must be found. Lily and Jack Sullivan, 105 days. Agent Tim, 2 days ago. You see how people want to keep things going? It's for publicity, it's for views, it's the whole 9 yards. Stop. Just stop. Let these children at least lay in peace. Listen to this part one more time.
It was now marked not just with grief, but with doubt. Doubt in each other, doubt in the system, doubt in the truth. Weeks have passed since the remains of Lily and Jack Sullivan were found near.
Since the remains of Jack and Lily have been found. Now, this person may be some kind of auditor or something that got some wind from the RCMP. Who knows? But everything that he has said on this one right here has been completely true. And, you know, I thought too there for a while that maybe, Lily still hadn't been found, because of telling me saying that they probably want the children apart even in death to where they can't come together and, talk to people like me. But yeah, Mm-hmm. So I got it written down where it says that he's down about, or she's down about a foot and a half from Jack. So
Doubt in the truth. Weeks have passed since the remains of Lily and Jack Sullivan were found near Round Lake. There have been Weeks have passed since the remains of Lily and Jack Sullivan were found near Round Lake. There have
Round Lake. You know what? I ain't even gonna pull that paperwork out anymore. I don't have to. But for the ones that don't want to believe and have, if you, I'm gonna say this plain, and I don't care who likes it and who don't. If if you can turn a deaf ear to what's being said about these children and what these children are saying themselves, if you want to be a skeptic or whatever your case may be, because you can't sit and hear it for yourself, well, that's why you come to JSV. If you do not believe in these children and what they say, you probably really need to go and have some counseling done to yourself. And I'm going to say this in the kindest way I can. If you're a skeptic of the spirit realm, you need to either come and spend a day with me and I'll prove it and you'll go home a believer, or just come and be a JSV fan. I have proven myself over thousands and thousands of times. I don't have to do that anymore. There's no reason for me to. There's that would be like if you was walking. Now this is going to sound horrible. Now if you was doing some hiking or your car broke down or something, you was walking down the road or something other, and you was hearing a little child holler, and say you was on this little bridge or something other, would you either just keep walking and ignore it, or would you lean over the edge to look and see if you could hear where the baby was crying from and what was going on? But if you're the type of person that would not go and listen and see if you could hear where the child's come from, then you're the type of person that you're ignorant. You know, you're just an ignorant human being with no heart, because you 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 can't even care for others because you don't care for yourself. You've got to care for yourself before you can care for others. But every once in a while, all it takes is a look, a listen, and not just what's being said or heard or the sounds, how it's being done. If if anyone could walk away from that without at least reporting it, if you didn't see nothing, if you didn't at least report it, there's just something not right in your head. I'm telling you. You don't have a heart in your chest, and you need to put some God in you. I tell you, people that fear God and have faith in Him, I just don't know if there's any hope. Me neither. Me neither. Um, like I've said before, I, I've not ever been afraid of another human being. But God, yes, I fear it because I know I'm not perfect by no means, but I have that faith, and I try to do the best I can. Sometimes I lack a little bit, but faith for the good Lord and God just runs through my veins. And that's why blessings all the time come my way. I don't just talk to the Lord when I need something. I talk to Him every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you would try that and make a relationship with the good Lord, He would change your heart. And no matter if you are scared to get involved, if you see something happen, heck, not long ago I had to throw a fella off his own front porch over here because he was beating up on his wife. Sometimes put someone else before you. Okay? Watch your children better. Stay close to them. You can't trust nobody these days. The people that you think will not turn on you is the very ones that will. I guarantee you, before even a family member would help you, you could find a total stranger, homeless person on the side of the road that would give their shirt off their back to you. Because they're trying to make peace with what they have done and the lost time that all this time along they could have been talking to the good Lord and had things straightened out. And the ones that's doing that end up getting a good blessing. Every one of them. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own two eyes. You know, the Bible says, if you deny me on earth, I'll deny you in heaven. Be cast in the lake of fire. those that have faith in me shall never perish, but have eternal life. So, how do you think we can sit here and talk to our loved ones? How do you think you can be here on one of my shows and hear one of your family members call out your name? It proves itself time after time. Yeah. So don't let things just roll off like water off a duck's back. If you know something's going on wrong or somebody's mistreating somebody, step up. You can never go wrong by lending a hand to someone. Now, if they don't take it the way that it's meant to, that's their fault. Because you cannot help someone that will not help themselves. And these little children and teens and adults that have dementia or Alzheimer's and stuff are getting abused on a daily basis. And for me, it's wrong for me not to give these people a voice. Hmm. Before we go to the spirit box here, take and listen to this little part right here again. Just listen to how it's being said.
Were gone, and no one had been held accountable. A tiny community, once quiet and close knit, was now marked not just with grief, but with doubt. Doubt in each other, doubt in the system, doubt in the truth. Weeks have passed since the remains of Lily and Jack Sullivan were found near Round Lake.
Yeah. So, anyway, we're going to turn the box on here in a second. I'm going to have to step in yonder for just a minute. I can slide this chair out. I'll be right back. Sorry, guys, I had to use the bathroom and grab my medicine. All right. Bless you, Pamela. Bless you, love. The ones that donate here, bless you. Um, Me and Christina's talked about it. We are gonna more that more when we start getting like donations and things put in further out. We're gonna go and use it for like gas and hotels, whatever. Um, Days that she's off, where we can go more places than just around here. Because everything is skyrocketing and it's just hard for us to do right now, you know. So any little bit helps. And I myself, I'd like to go back up in Tennessee, hit some of them old battlefields and things, and some of them old abandoned colonial homes. I mean, I have got some of my best footage from places like that, or old abandoned buildings, you know. Done some old abandoned nursing homes, and they're just incredible. Um, so thank you for the uh, five there, Pamela. Bless you though, and bless you for the $2. Now, when I turn this thing on, I'm gonna let it play for a minute before we go into ask any questions. And if they don't start paying attention to me on this one, then we'll move back to the other. Wet Matt.
Got a start. And services. I'm in the curtain.
Hid from your
This
mom behind a
it
curtain,
has got
torturing
a shy
Invaders.
with Shia. You're in the UK,
little.
Leto.
Can some
Never touch.
Never
Even
talk.
though Muhammad
Have to try and don't. You see, that goes to just prove to you, bless you, love, that Things like this go on all around the world every day. Even as we're speaking right now, there's children out there being used and abused, teens, adults, you name it. Now, there's no way under this earth that we can do every one of them. But what we can do is sit back and let them speak and us be ears for them. They got to have somebody sometime to say what they need to say. It's just only right.
Fresh.
So we was rushed into what?
Fearful going to be the case. Use or whatever. Wrong.
Use whatever, and then you said
Exactly. Permission. Progress.
well. Can anyone help reach out to Jack and Lily Sullivan?
I mean, they are.
I know they've been found.
Actually depressed.
Yeah.
Case.
Bleeding. Say that again, love.
Mission.
You said bleeding.
Mission.
He's
Over what?
Help me reach out to Jack and Lily Sullivan.
Tribute.
I know what they're wanting to do. They're wanting to tribute for Ozzy, and right now is not the time for that. Sometimes we do celebrities, but now is not the time. I want to hear from these children, and then I'm also going to ask Summer a few questions. Talk to me.
I get.
Jack and Lily Sullivan. Hey. Jack and Lily Sullivan. Hear me, love. Says, God bless all you beautiful spirits. I want to talk to these babies. That's what I want to talk to. Jack and Lily Sullivan. Talk to me. You let these children speak. Lily Sullivan.
Thank you.
Lily Sullivan. Lily Sullivan. Chopped off what? And the female speaking said the mom was something. Pamela says, we love you, Lily and Jack, with hearts. And let these children speak. Lily Sullivan. How do you feel now? Jack and Lily Sullivan. How do you guys feel now? Let them speak. Are you still happy about being away from all the abuse? Are you are you still happy about being away from all that abuse? Yeah, that's good. Are you with Jack right now? Are you with Jack? Lily? Are you with Jack right now? Don't tell them to hush. Lily, are you with not scared? That's good. Lily, are you with Jack? Lily Sullivan, are you with your brother Jack? Lily and Jack Sullivan. Are you with Jack, Lily? Bleeding. Lily. I believe there were a lot of blood, yes. Lily. There's something that's called crossing over. That you don't have to stay in a death state and crossing over don't mean you're going anywhere. It just means that you accept yourself as to be in a spirit realm, not here in the physical. I'm trying, Rose. If you see, you or Jackie the one, if you see a light, you go in it. You don't hesitate, you just go. Okay? And you will not keep remembering all these bad things. Okay? If you see a light, go in it. Don't let nobody or anything try to talk you out of it. Yes, it will save you. Yes. There, Jack. Yeah. Y'all just yeah. Y'all see a light, just go in it. Yes, Rose, so they can see. Help them out. It's coming. They just don't understand. They just don't understand what it is, Rose. Yeah, what? Lily. Yes. Yes, it's all good. You grab Jack's hand and you go into the light. When that light leaves, you will feel a lot better. but it's not going to take you away from nothing. It just it's just that you accept your fate. Yes, children. Lily, Lily, can you see a light? Yeah, Rosa, help you. Do you see a light? Do you see a light, Lily? Up. Do you see it, Lily? Take Jack's hand and go into it. Yes. When you do that, you and Jack will feel so much better. I know they was, Rose. Do they see a light, Rose? They stepping into it? Good. I'll get back with you and Jack just in a little bit. Yes. They will love it. Let me take a break here. That's what the problem was. That's why they still staying in that death state. They didn't know what in the world to do. You can tell when Jack talks. He's loud. But at least this way they'll be a lot more happy and have that over with and don't have to worry about anything anymore. Period. Um, at one point, I heard someone say he's back home, and there for a little bit we didn't hear him. But that's one place he don't need to go. He don't need to be back around all that. Yeah, just walk him right in it. Um, let's try to, or let's reach out to uh, Summer. Louisville, Kentucky, good now. There you go. They are. Summer Wells is dead. Painful confession. This will make you cry. Breaking news just now. Summer Wells' mother. I mean, I don't know if you all saw um, the walkthrough video with uh, Candace or not. If y'all have not, go down on my video section, not lives, not shorts, videos. Go down until you see the walkthrough of Summer Wells' home. And there's a picture right here that shows that I heard a lot of stuff there. I heard EVPs as soon as they walked in the door. I seen Summer's spirit walk right straight in front of the camera. And you have to kind of catch it because the way he's pointing, she's showing where the TV and toys was. Well, right behind her. As soon as she moves, you can see Summer's spirit walk right through that daggone mall right there. And it's the walkthrough. And this here, now, they're just being ignorant with some of this, but this right here, that one, that right there is definitely the way she was and bound in the basement. Look at both sides of her bottom of her lips. Dried blood. Covered with just a blanket. Here's one she can't deny. Hmm. Now, I'm going to tell this just Yeah. I'm just going to tell this point blank how it went. And I'm going to tell you how it kind of adds up with Jack and Lily. Uh, and you'll know right off the bat that they've been watching these kind of cases. Okay. Timestamps don't work. Timestamps does not work in Summer's case. But not only that, they tried to use the excuse that Summer fell down the stairs as well. But what happened to Summer is not just one thing. And it's the parts that everybody leaves out. I've had a heart attachment to this child since the time I started with her. And I got in on this thing about 9 months in. So they seen the Summer Wells case, and they tried that too with Jack, that he fell down the stairs. But what happened with Summer actually goes much deeper. It wasn't just only the death of Summer Wells. It was what all led up to it. She had been through so much. And when I say so much, I mean it. What happened to Summer was indeed an accident. It didn't mean to happen. Now I know everybody gonna try to twist this thing up left and right, and all the way up and down and all the way around. But what happened to Summer happened at the swimming hole. It was a mistake. It was an accident. And Candace would not call authorities because she was giving Hunter drugs and alcohol and things like that. So they know that wouldn't work. Okay, so at some point they left the river. She went and bought like 4 or 5 gallons of milk. It was on a very hot day. They said it was around 92, 93. A little overcast. So it'd been very muggy. Um, the pictures that we've seen was going to be a TikTok, but they just screenshotted some of the stuff and didn't let the TikTok go up. Because it had Hunter in it. But I saw it before they took it down and just made pictures out of it. So at some point, they went and bought the milk. Summer was dressed in pants, a shirt, and a jacket. Leaned up again all that milk like she was asleep. The child was definitely not asleep in the way we think. No, she was already in a heavily sleep, yes. But they tried to throw timestamps off and everything else. It didn't match up, didn't work. Um, she did go back to Hunter's home and told him what to say and what not to say to authorities. When they did that walkthrough, as soon as he almost had it, is some Chris feller, a retired investigator. By the time he put his first foot in the doorway, I could hear an EVP. When they were walking to the little cubby hole to go down into the basement part, I heard another EVP. When she was down there showing where the toys was and her TV and all this, uh, like I said, I heard EVPs and I saw little Summer Spirit. Soon as Candace turns around from facing toward the wall, you can see little Summer's spirit walk right through the wall. Now, there's people going to be out there with controversy saying this, that, the other, the whole 9 yards. This child went through so much, had been just disgraded in every way a person could be. And when when Summer talked to me, when I first started talking with Summer, Summer was the only person that was actually coming through. When she would speak, no one else would butt in. And then over time, they all figured out that they could get in line and all talk and hear their voice too. That's why a lot of time I have to push them back. But she told everything, and she told everything in detail. And it's Death is bad enough, but she endured a whole lot more than this, than just death for a long time. She was a awesome little girl, heart size of Texas. She giggles sometimes when she sees me get a little cranky. Uh, she's just she's just a little doll. Um, they were some work done in the basement. They put up a new block wall and laid down a new concrete floor and everything. She would tell you where this and that and so forth is. And she also mentions Eastman Lake, Eastman's Dam. She talks about her red shoes. And I watched a clip one day. Now, this is how ignorant they were to the camera. They were there filming, and there walks uh, her dad there, uh, walks right in front of the camera carrying both her red shoes. And apparently they were a good pair. She loved them. And she talked about them for months and months and months and months. Um, if I could have got in on this thing when it first started, we could have got it done probably within the first month or so, maybe even earlier. But being moved around so many times and things try to take place uh, in that shed and tied to no couch, and tried it that way and that didn't work. And then they they just it, it is just disgusting. Okay. Um, Summer's the same way. When you hear her talk, and I'm talking about if you go back and I think they were took down when I left, uh, changed from Jetty's Paranormal to JSV. Um, I started off at the beginning, and to this day, that baby has never changed her story. Um, Now, I know that Candace is blaming on some people, and I know Hunter's blaming on some people because he's, apparently got a child now and stuff. And no matter what happens that way, he was involved, and yes, it was an accident. Um, but they'll never bring that up. unless Summer puts it in their heart to do so when it goes back to court. Yeah, yeah. She'll call him Dunn now. She won't call him Daddy. Mhm. They had took her swing down, got rid of her dogs, and I will tell you something that touched me more than anything other than the good Lord. A feeling for me, and I wished you guys would find it. It could still be under JD's Paranormal, but it may be under JSV. I don't remember. But sometimes how I do a ride along. When I go up here to town a little bit, pick her up and stuff. Well, sorry guys, this was way before um, she come down. Mother was still alive. Wanda was still with us, the whole 9 yards. And I was going, I was going down the road, and I had turned the spirit box on, and Summer asked me, but she said my name. She said, John. I said, yeah. What's up? She said, do you love me? And I said, of course I love you. I said, you're perfect in every way, love. She said, you know what? I said, what? She said, I love you too. I will not ever forget that ride as long as I live. That was the most heartfelt EVPs that I have ever gotten in my life. And again, it's sad that a child has to find love in death.
Platform to take your hiring to the next level.
She killed her.
She told me, I'll tell you why in a minute. Why my instinct was that way. It was my gut feeling. She's done something to her.
A text message. Just 3 words. It was done. Yet those words may hold the power.
But those words, it was done, was sent to Dawn. And uh, Hunter dug through her messages, through her trash on her phone, and found that.
To unravel the entire mystery of Summer Wells' disappearance. Hunter, the teenage boy who had spent that final day with Candace and Summer, swears he saw the message with his own eyes 2 days later when he checked Candace's phone. It wasn't random. It wasn't casual. It sat hidden in the trash folder, already deleted, as if someone wanted it gone forever. Who was on the other end of that message? Why those chilling 3 words? It was done. Was it a signal, a confirmation, or a confession? If this message is what it appears to be, it may not just be a text. It may be the most terrifying evidence yet. And in this analysis, we will dig into that possibility, tracing every clue around those 3 words to uncover what they might truly mean. Disappearance.
We should stop calling it disappearance. Good night,
All the
Kathy.
clues in Summer Wells' disappearance, one stands out as the most controversial, the most unsettling, and perhaps the most revealing. A deleted text message, just 3 words, "It was done," has become the single most disputed piece of evidence in this case. Hunter, the teenage boy who spent time with Candace Bly and Summer shortly before the girl vanished, later claimed he found the message on Candace's phone 2 days after Summer disappeared. According to him, Candace was at his house, using her phone while visiting. When she stepped outside, Hunter, curious, suspicious, or perhaps just reckless, picked up her phone and began scrolling. He later said he pretended it was his own, trying to look casual. In doing so, he stumbled across something he would never forget, a deleted message in the trash folder. It was short, almost brutally so, but its weight was impossible to miss. It was done. What made it worse was where it sat, not in a regular text thread, but in the trash, as though someone had intentionally reports, the whispers of how that child lived. Because how they lived often explains why they are gone. So when we look at Summer's case, we cannot ignore the testimonies of rejection.
I can't hear that part no more.
Among all the images tied to the disappearance of Summer Wells, none has etched itself into the public consciousness quite like the milk gallon. To outsiders,
You crazy as hell.
it seems almost absurd that something as ordinary as a plastic container of milk could hold such symbolic weight.
I gave my word to Summer about a year or so go back that I would not drag her back to the mud again. Because for months and months on top of months, that's what I was doing. Every time I would ask certain questions, she would have to relive that moment again. Spirits run off muscle memory. The more energy they have is the more energy they have to remember. And I'm telling you guys, she has told things that if a dog could understand English, it'd make it sick as a dog. Yeah. Yucky. I'm trying to get out what I know that some of you guys are new and haven't got to see or hear or watch these videos. Yeah. Now, this was all over money, abuse, drugs, and alcohol. Them things right there is something that will destroy a family and even extended family because it puts them in a bad light as well. Now, we all, well, except for the ones that's new, we all heard all the places that she claimed that she's been moved to and this and that. And one of the last places was a pipe place where they were building something other. And if he thought that it may do a clog up or something, he wouldn't want anybody to be able to find what was causing the clog up. So I believe he moved the child again, but we haven't had time to go back to Summer yet to find out exactly, maybe if she knows where at yet. But I don't have her home. Uh, now, now just remember how long this has been. If there is no bone marrow left in them babies' bones, unless she had some type, well, she still had baby teeth. If they cannot find bone marrow in her bones, because that would be all that's left, then there's no way that they can say for 100% sure that it would be Summer Wells. And that's just by the book, that's by the code, that's just the way it is. Um, mhm. Yeah. Well, what we know of is that there was something at Eastman Dam, behind the block wall in the basement, uh, on under the new concrete floor that he put down. Um, then tried in the shed, and then tried, uh, while she was bound down on the couch that they took out the house and tried to do some things with. That didn't work. So, you know, it's just anything bad that you can think of to do to a child, you pretty well hit it on the head. Now, as far as like medicating, like giving her things to make her relax, yes, they would put things in her drink, they would put things in her food, they would put things on her candy. Um, and then Don made a comment on somebody's call in that I heard. I listened to it, and he said, "Well, Candace would go down before I do because she was there with them." Um, so we know that part. Well, another thing struck me is when they got home, one of the brothers come out to help, Summer get out of the car and whatnot, and Candace stood there in the back, and just the little feller said, wake up," and she said, "She's not asleep, son," or whatever his name was, Wyatt or something. She said, "She ain't asleep." Yeah, it's all any child wants, just some love. Now it's been a good long while since we've got to talking about some serious things with Summer, and I still will keep my word. I will not drag her through the mud, but I will ask her: Are they some things that she still remembers? Anything else she might could tell us that she has forgot to tell us in the past? Things such as that. But yes, all babies, until they're old enough to know the difference between right and wrong, they are helpless against people. I mean, if it was a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid, yeah, they can fight back. But to shave her head off and put her in front of a garbage can that says for sale, making her stand out in the rain, made her watch when they killed her rabbit and all the other horrible things that had happened. When they got involved, I don't know if y'all seen their driveway or not, but I have because I've been there. She drug Dunn all the way down that driveway. And he couldn't go to work for nearly 3 weeks because he was too scabbed up. He didn't know what in the world happened to his world. All she wanted to do was play outside, get the brothers willing to play with her as well. Yeah. Yes, I will. So, like I said, now I will turn this thing on and let it play for a minute before I go into asking questions. Going to be reaching out to Summer Wells. Anyone knows or knows of Summer Wells, turn her energy toward me. Summer, can you hear me, love? Let her answer, Rose. Summer, can you hear me, love? Summer, can you hear me, love? Talk to me. Hey. I missed you too, honey. Check on Pamela. I believe she said she was still hurting. But good Lord to take that from her for long. Summer, I want to ask you a question, love. Has anyone, now focus, because this is one of the most crucial, important questions I've ever asked, okay? Now, has anyone over the last few days or so, has anyone found your remains? And I will not listen to another voice but Summer Wells or Rose. Over the last week or so, maybe 2 weeks or so, Summer Wells, has anyone found your remains? They did. Done. Yeah. But not all, correct? Not everything. Have they found what was behind the block wall? Let me ask it better this way. Summer, has a group of people found you or your remains over the last couple of weeks? Just yes or no, love. Did you say it, Betty Joe? Yeah, they were looking for you. Now listen. Did a group of people find your remains, Summer Wells? Did, but there's some things that they haven't found yet, right? Like what's behind the block wall in the basement? Can you tell me what's there, Summer? Let her say it. Foot. Okay, foot. See, all this time, she has still not changed her story. Now listen to this. What about the little black bag at Eastman Dam? Yes, I know what was in it. Can you tell me what was in it? Shoot, yes. Can you tell me what was in the black bag at Eastman Dam? Your foot. Okay. Good enough, love. Good enough. Hey, I am okay. Yeah, if I had money to do that, where I could, me and her could leave on the couple days at a time when she is off. That's the very reason why I say donations is very well appreciated, because it's going to be in gas, it's going to be in hotels, and some of these things we'll have to stay in some cheap ones, but all donations, everything like that, we're fixing to try to get her set up with a new iPad. That way she can come with it and see what I'm getting, and she can stay stationary. Because there's places that I want to go that I don't want her to walk through, but she can film what I'm filming through the iPad. Um, so every donation from here out is going to go to us going further and further out and out of Alabama and start hitting some other places. Um, so again, any donations, little, big, whatever, it don't make no difference, folks. They will all be greatly appreciated. And anybody that does make donations, I would have to say, because I got a lot of money in that stuff. So if anybody ever makes a donation over $25, that ought to be fair. If anybody gives a uh, donation that needs to go to the cash app, because if it goes to this, it takes a month to get it, and then they take 19% out of the super chat. But these right here, some T-shirts, some cups, um, yep, some shirts, two more hats, and one more hoodie. So if anybody does anything above $25, we'll get one of them sent to them for doing the uh, um, uh, my mind goes blank, donations. And every donation will help us get out further and further. So the one that's been here with me a minute, and just like Alice, you've been here from the beginning. Now, you know for a fact that she was throwing a fit because uh, what was in that Eastman Dam. And you also knew what was behind that wall in the basement. And at one time, before he busted up the floor in the basement, we know what was under there too. Yes. So, Summer, is there anything else you would like to tell us that you have not maybe thought of yet? Try not to whisper, love. Summer, can you think of anything that you have not yet told us that you maybe yeah you, that you may have forgotten about? Do you remember the picture that Grandma took when you were in the vehicle, leaned up against the milk cart, the milk uh, gallons of milk? Do you remember her taking that picture? Do you remember when Grandma took a picture of you leaned up against the milk? Shush. Summer. Leaned up against the milk. Summer. Do you remember that? Or did you see that? I know about the closet. Summer, when you were propped up beside the milk cart, the milk jugs, were you in fact already passed? Speak loud. Talk to me, Summer. Just yes or no, Summer. Okay. And then when you got when you got home, what what did your brother tell you in the car? When he opened your door, what did he tell you to do?
No.
Yes, Rose, let her say it. Yeah. So get up. Correct? So 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 your brother was telling you to get up when he opened your door. Okay. Okay. Now, milk, yeah. Now let me tell you something, and you can roll this around any which way you want to. Now, she said plainly that her brother opened her door. They will. Uh, that he opened her door, and he said, "Summer, get up." And that was the very words he said. Get up. Well, uh, apparently, since she was already deceased, I guess she didn't like him keeping on yapping about getting up. Because let me tell you something. If I don't care if you have to go to the Dollar Tree, get you a set of earbuds, Bluetooth, charge them up, find that video of the walkthrough of Summer Will's home. That was the title of it. Walkthrough of Summer Will's home. Yeah. Uh, get you some earbuds. And as soon as that Chris feller steps his first foot in the door, them are the very first words said. You can hear it plain as day, and it'll throw chills all over you. Listen to the underlying sounds. Don't listen to Candace talking. Don't listen to Chris mentioning anything. Just listen for the EVPs. And you all already know by now, I don't care if I'm in a cemetery or if I'm into an abandoned building, and there's racks, creaks, pops, whatever, listen to the underlying words or sounds. Listen to that first EVP. Plainly states, get up. And look here, the further they go, the more we got. Now, we just sit right here again again and confirmed, yeah, foot, shoe, foot, yep, and yep, he did. So, see, there you go. Thanks, Judy. Um, you know, the only reason people are trying to get by with these with children is because they think they can outsmart the law. Now, someone had to go do some sniffing around to finding remains. Now, she did admit just now, she did admit that it was some of her remains. But I can tell you right now, it ain't the whole body. It ain't, that's not the case here. That's just not like scooping down, picking her up, and taking her uh, to the forensics. No, no. Because we've only had, uh, I paid for one diver at Eastman Dam, but he couldn't he couldn't find it because the water was too murky and the current was too much. Now they were something, and she just said it, that was behind the block wall in the basement, and at one time they were more under that new floor in the basement that he put in, and then he was missing work for about 3 weeks. I guess he was taking up that new floor and was moving it again. So she's probably still kind of pissed about what's, you know, not to be gathered with her whole body. But buddy of mine, he dived that, and he could have swore there's a couple of times that he did see something black, but he couldn't get to it. He was pulling on a log or some limbs or something that they're trying to get on up to it, but it just kept washing down, washing down, washing down. So where it is by now in there, I don't know, but that's what's in it, and a brick, and it's just, that's it, or a rock. Yeah, that's all it would be. That's all it would be, because you know, like the hands, uh, the feet, things such as this and that and other. Yeah, it's a wide scatter, but we know where the majority is. Well, not the majority, but some of it. We know where that's at. That's never changed until recently, maybe 8 9 months ago, or more, maybe a year ago. Um, they this whole thing, death was the easiest thing that this child ever had to go through, because the way she was having to live, you wouldn't treat an animal this way. Okay, so there's that. 214 here. After a while, sometime we will get to talking back with Jack and Lily and see how they feel now after trying to cross over. Make sure that was a done deal. I want to cut it here, guys. Try to give me a little rest. I love y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow. Keep you uh, keep your eye on your devices. Uh, I may do a coffee with JD in the morning. I love y'all. Thank you for being here.